As workflows in ComfyUI grow more complex, the canvas can quickly turn into a cluttered mess of intersecting connection lines and scattered parameters. To solve this, ComfyUI lets you organize and simplify workflows using legacy group nodes, an older method, and subgraphs, the recommended method. In this video lesson, I'll show you how to use both. Let's get started. As you can see, I'm using the default ComfyUI workflow for this video. First, let's take a look at how group nodes work. You can also skip to the Subgraph chapter if you're not interested in group node. Select the nodes you want to group by holding Control and dragging a selection box around them. Next, click the three dots to open the More Options menu. Select Convert to Group Node. In the prompt dialog, enter a name, such as Engine. All selected nodes will collapse into a single unified block, with their inputs and outputs combined. To manage the group node, right-click it and select Manage Group Node. A dialog window will appear with tabs for group nodes, inputs, widgets, and outputs. Under the Group Nodes tab, you can reorder the execution sequence of the group nodes by dragging these handles. Under Inputs, Widgets, and Outputs, use the checkboxes to control which variables are exposed on the outside of the collapsed node. You can also rename exposed variables, for example, changing latent to latent name, to keep the outer node clean and easy to read. Click Save to apply the configuration, then close the dialog. As you can see, the latent output from the K-sampler is now visible, and its name has been changed. If you want to restore the nodes to the main canvas, select the group node, open the Options menu again, and select Convert to Nodes. The group will be dissolved and the original node connections will reappear on the main canvas. That's it for group nodes. Now let's see how subgraphs work. The Subgraph tool helps organize nodes cleanly without the layout limitations of the older group node system. Select the target nodes. Then click the Convert Selection to Subgraph icon in the toolbar. Your selected node chain will collapse into a single node with a Subgraph widget button in its header. When you hover over it, the mouse cursor will change into a plus sign. To view and edit the internal structure, click this icon on the Subgraph node, or simply double-click the node itself. ComfyUI will open a nested workspace tab. At the top left corner, you'll see the breadcrumby trail. This shows your current location, similar to folders and subfolders. Click any item in the trail to navigate back to a higher level. You can also press the S key on your keyboard to instantly return to the main canvas. You can also rename a subfolder. If you pan or zoom to a specific node inside the subgraph, ComfyUI will remember that viewport position when you exit and re-enter. Let's zoom the K-sampler to see how it works. Go to the main canvas and come back. See, it's still zoomed on the left side. Is the input node, which handles incoming parameters from the parent canvas. On the right side is the output node, which sends processed results back to the parent canvas. To expose connections to the outside, drag a connector line from an internal node and drop it directly onto an input or output line on the boundary. For example, connecting width and height to the left boundary will expose width and height inputs on the outside of the subgraph node. Similarly, to expose output data, drag a noodle from a node, such as the meanage output from VAE decode, and drop it onto an output line on the right. This creates an external output connection for that image. You can also rename these slots by double-clicking any parameter name on the left or right boundary and entering a custom name. If you want to remove a slot, simply right-click it on the boundary and select Remove Slot. You can also disconnect connections from here. Instead of manually wiring connections to the boundary lines, you can directly promote internal sliders, drop-downs, and text fields so they appear on the outside of the collapsed subgraph node. Right-click the empty background area of any internal widget, such as the step slider in K-sampler. Then select Promote Widget. The widget will be highlighted with a magenta border. Return to the main canvas. The promoted widget will now appear directly on the collapsed subgraph node. To hide a widget from the outer node, right-click the widget field and select Unpromote Widget. The widget will remain functional inside the subgraph, but it will no longer be visible on the main canvas. If you want, you can also manage widgets directly from the main canvas. Select the subgraph node. In the floating toolbar, click the Edit Subgraph Widgets icon. In the right sidebar, you'll see options for all widgets, including hide and unhide controls, as well as drag and drop positioning. You'll notice that linked widgets do not have hide or unhide options because they are already connected to the outside of the subgraph. If you decide you no longer want the nodes modularized, select the subgraph node on the main canvas and open the menu. Select the Unpack from the menu. The subgraph node will be dissolved and the original nodes will reappear on the main canvas in their last saved positions. So that's how you can use group nodes and subgraphs in ComfyUI to keep your workflows organized. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next ComfyUI lesson. Take care and goodbye.